assistant of the Oosterhout Free Library. And around this time of year, you probably have a lot of these candies around your house. I'm talking about candy canes and peppermints. And today we're going to explore just a little bit of science and fun that you can do with the candy canes and other items that you have around your house. I'll show you an activity, and I'll also show you how you can build your own fun game with candy canes. I'll include a link in the description box below with all the directions and links mentioned in this video. But first, I wanted to ask you, did you know that candy canes have been around since the 17th century? They have. It's a pretty long time. Although they weren't called candy canes then, they were called sugar sticks, because they're made out of sugar and water and some cornstarch that gets pulled and pulled and pulled until tiny air bubbles get into it and it turns white, because the first sugar sticks and candy canes are all white. It wasn't until much later that they get the fun, cool stripes that we are familiar with today. So how do you make candy canes disappear in your house? Well, normally you'd eat them because they're delicious, of course. But my question is, can you make a candy cane disappear without eating it? And how does it disappear? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. We're going to see how it dissolves, not disappear, because dissolve is a scientific term, which means when you have a solid gets incorporated into another liquid. And we're going to find out what is it that makes that change from the solid to the liquid and make the candy cane disappear. So let's get started. For this experiment, you will need candy canes or peppermints and some clear glasses or jars that you can see through. You'll want a timer or a stopwatch. And in the description box below, you can find a printable recording sheet, or you can make your own. So you're going to choose 3 or 4 liquids and find out which one will dissolve the candy cane first. Now for the first trial, you're going to use the same liquid, and it'll all be water, but the difference will be the temperature. You'll have in one jar, we'll have hot water, another one will have cold water, and the last one will be room temperature water. So before you put the candy cane in there, I want you to make a prediction of which one will dissolve the candy cane the quickest. Then go ahead, put the candy in there, and you can set your timer or watch it for probably the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then once you discovered what happened, record your findings on your recording sheet. Now you're going to get to do this experiment or the trial again. That's what all good scientists do. But this time, you're going to choose some different liquids to see if you have different results. And I've given you some suggestions here. You can use oil, cooking oil or baby oil, soda or sugar water, or milk or juice, maybe even vinegar. Or you can even use your own imagination and choose another type of liquid to try out. So before you try it again, make a prediction, and then go ahead, put your candy in there, and set your timer and see which one dissolves the quickest. And there's also one of those liquids where it won't dissolve, but you'll have to try it yourself to find out which one that is, because I'm not going to tell you. And after all that scientific work, why don't you and your family have some fun and go fishing? Candy cane fishing, that is. With this next activity, candy cane fishing. For this next activity, you're going to go candy cane fishing, and you're going to have to design your own fishing pole and your own fishing pond. And that's the challenge here, because you're going to use materials that you find around your house. I'll show you what I find and offer some suggestions that you can use at home. So first, you're going to need to design your fishing pole. And you're going to need a candy cane, of course, some tape, ribbon, I have fishing wire, and a stick to fashion it. Now, I have a craft stick. You could use a pencil, a ruler, a milkshake straw, whatever you have at home. And then, of course, when you build it, you're going to have to test it. You're going to have to test it to make sure that the tape that you use to hold on to the string is strong enough and that you have attached it in the right spot so that it holds your hook, candy cane hook, just straight up and down so that you have better control of grabbing the candy cane. So now you have to make your candy cane pond. So you're going to need something circular, and I'm using an old soup can, but you can use any container that you have at your home. And I saw this really easy trick that really helps. So if you have a really wide container, it helps to put a cup right in the middle. And so when you put your candy canes in around, it helps them from falling, prevent them from falling over. So when you stick your candy canes into your candy cane pond, you can go fishing for them. There you go. And now is where you get to test out your design and see if it worked. Plus, it's a little bit of skill too. So you're gonna hold your hook right over here and see if you can grab it. Now, I have been practicing. You might have to practice a little bit more. What if I said that you can take this candy cane or peppermints and turn it into the shape of a star? Would you think that I would bend it? Well, what would happen if I bent it? It would break, right? Well, there's another way that you can change this shape into a different shape, and you don't have to break it, and it'll be beautiful, just as beautiful as this. Well, what do we need to do to change the shape of this hard, solid candy? Well, we're going to add heat, and you can make your own new shape. So you're going to need an adult to help with this activity. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a cookie cutter that's metal and coat it with some nonstick spray, and then you're going to either place the peppermint candies inside the shape of the cookie cutter or break them into smaller shapes and pieces. That's kind of fun to do too. And then go ahead and put it in the oven that's preheated to 350 degrees, and then leave it in there for about 7 to 10 minutes. Now this is where the fun science part happens. Now the heat will cause the sugar to melt just enough that it will retain the shape of the cookie cutter. But you have to be careful because you don't want it to get too liquidy and then it'll be just one big blob. So go ahead and see what other shapes you can make at home. Hope you had fun and see you next time. Bye.